Sorry. Is that better?
Yeah.
Is that better? Awesome. I'm loud anyway. I don't need a mic. Okay, so this is our 4th annual charity hackathon, and we are so excited to have you guys here. We see tons of familiar faces, tons of brand new ones, and it's just really, really humbling to see how many of you turn out for us year after year and the new people that come visit us. And it's just really, really important for our nonprofits, which we'll meet in a minute, to see the support they have in this community. So thank you for that. Give yourselves a round of applause. So today we're going to be kicking off. What's going to happen is just some housekeeping. I have Matt Sieren from Iowa Public Radio as my co-host, and he's going to talk about the nonprofit side of the house. And we're just going to get through all of that pretty quickly. You're going to speed date, which we'll talk about some more, and then you'll hack. So first things first, how many of you are repeats? Fantastic. And brand new? Awesome. About 50-50. And this slide really says it all. Really, we do this and we're successful doing this because Des Moines is awesome, because you are awesome. And the nonprofits that we help are awesome. And one of our nonprofits, Mike Zimmerman last year, really put it perfectly for us. If you can, you must. And that's why we're here. You have time, you have talent, and you're willing to share of it. Leave your family, leave your friends, use your VTO, whatever you gave up to be here, and to help some very worthy causes. So we appreciate that. Our sponsors, however, are another reason that we're really successful at this, and we could not do this without them. We have 3 levels of sponsor this year. We got cute with it: terabyte, gigabyte, and megabyte sponsors. So we have Principal Financial Group and Source Allies are our terabyte sponsors, so give them a round of applause. And our gigabyte sponsors are Lean Techniques, Top Tech Consulting, and Workiva. Another round of applause. And our gracious host, Gravitate, is our megabyte sponsor. And for those of you that remember, this is the 3rd year that we have been at this location, and it is the last year that we will be at this location, as Gravitate is no longer going to be in the Midland building. So this sweltering hot beige box, this will be the last year that we are in this room. But the space on the 3rd floor is beautiful, and we will miss it, but we look forward to seeing what they have in the future. So thank you to our sponsors. Our host is Gravitate, as I mentioned. As we say every year, respect their stuff. There are offices downstairs that are offices. They are fully loaded with gear and awesomeness. Don't touch that stuff. Please stay in the areas that we tell you to stay in, and just generally be respectful. Year after year, they host us here, and they trust us to be really good at their space, and we want to maintain that relationship. So again, thank you for hosting Gravitate, and thanks to all of you for being respectful to their stuff. So what's the schedule look like for this weekend? Some of you have been through this, so you could recite this as well as I could. Some of you are new. So the schedule, hacking starts as soon as we leave this floor. Final presentations are Saturday at 6 p.m. And the final presentations are really something special if you've never been to them. What we do is each team actually demonstrates what they were able to accomplish over the course of the 48 hours. And then we have sort of impact statements from the nonprofits themselves to say what this event meant to them, what it will help with their organization, and really, a general feel of what happened with them over the weekend. So it's really touching. It's a little teary in here sometimes. I will be the first to admit that, but it's really quite something to see. So be prepared for that. As far as food and drink, we know beer is super important, coffee is super important, food is super important. Meals are provided at 8, 12, and 5:30-ish, sort of. Be prepared, catering. You can never be sure, but it'll be around 8, noon, and 6. There are some specific dishes for dietary restrictions, so if you don't have a dietary restriction, don't take the food that is marked for the dietary restriction. At least let those people take it first. So please be courteous of that. We will have snacks, coffee, soda, beer, Red Bull, all day, all night. So we will keep you well fueled for your work. Now, the facilities are open all night, and we have a number. I suggest you take a picture of it, do whatever you got to do to get it into your phone. If the doors are locked and you want to come in, that is the number that you will call. One of the organizers, the people in these green shirts, will come and get you. And it's also a way to get in touch with us if something goes wrong. So that is our after hours and sort of emergency contact for the event. So take a picture of it. We'll have it on signs throughout the event as well. Some important stuff for the event. Slack is sort of the collaboration Bible for this event. So you will each be added to our dsmHack.slack.com channel, And we'll be creating rooms for each of the nonprofits that you will then be put into after you figure out which nonprofit you're going to help. Make sure that the things you share there are smart. Be cautious with your passwords that you exchange on that channel, that sort of thing. We'll also have a general channel, which is just for fun. There's just meme city in there, so have fun with it. Also, beer requests, we get those in there too. It's interesting. Support bar is something new this year, though. So this year we have some people that some are on site, some are remote, and they are on the Slack channel waiting to help. So if you need help in the past, you've kind of put in the general room and hope it didn't get lost between cat gifts and various other stuff. So this year we have a specific channel for that. So if you are stuck on something, if you've got a question on something, if you need something, put it in the support bar channel, and people here and people from even Oregon will be on there to monitor and try to help you out. As you may remember, Sonos is a music system set up downstairs. Don't be that guy that bumps everybody else out of the queue so you can hear Justin Timberlake. Don't be that guy. But that will be something you can download the app and access and start populating the queue to keep you going, keep you energized throughout the day. And of course, we have our fantastic social media channels. Use the hashtag dsmHack. Tell your friends. Spread the word. We are Facebook Live right now, so if you want to hop onto our Facebook page and give us some thumbs up or some love, that would be great. Get it trending. And then last but not least on this important stuff slide, we have our organizers. I have their names here. I would like them to wave. If you're in a green shirt, you're an organizer, wave. These people have worked their butts off for this event. They all have full-time jobs. This is all volunteer, and we couldn't do this without them. And if you need them, please do find us. We are in these shirts. We'll be in these same shirts all weekend. If you need us, find us. Yes. I do want to call out a special thanks before I move on. We have some extra help this year that we haven't had in the past that's sort of specialized. Chuck Rolick, you may remember, he was a previous recurring participant, and he's now taken on the duty of kind of infrastructure guy for dsmHack. So he's the one responsible for putting together those awesome instructions to help you get set up in your dev infrastructure a little bit faster. And Dana Cleveland as well helped with that. And then Luke Elzinga on the nonprofit side, and Carla Walsh on the social media side. So we've had some additional help this year, which has been fantastic. So another round of applause for them. So this is my final slide, and then I turn it over to Matt. We had 80 of you, 80 volunteer tech pros register to help this year. That means 10 different nonprofits will get helped by 80 different people. And that is outstanding. If you think about the amount of money that we've been able to contribute in-kind donations to these nonprofits over the years because of your time and your talent, that's huge. That's something that a lot of these organizations may not be able to afford or may not have resources to address. So it's not a small thing you guys are doing. It's huge, and we appreciate it. And there are 80 of you. Please give yourselves a round of applause as well. And with that, I'm going to turn it over to Matt Sieren to talk about our nonprofits.
Okay. I'm Matt Sieren. I work for Iowa Public Radio. We participated last year as a participating nonprofit. It was a fantastic experience. I had a lot of fun working with the team. We got a great product at the end of it, and in fact, it's helped us as an organization. It's an online store. It's an incentive for our members, for individuals to become sustaining members, and we've seen revenue increase from it as well. In fact, this last Christmas, we saw blockbuster sales through there. A lot of listeners to us wanted to get extra things for themselves, for their family, for their friends, for the holidays, and it paid off for us big time. So that was great. I'm continuously thankful for that. And that's kind of what brings me back. I'm back because I believe in the power of what everyone in this room can do. You guys, if you're a programmer, if you're a volunteer, you make a huge difference. You've helped us as an organization. It's a tangible impact. And to you nonprofits, I'm so happy that you get to be here. It's an exciting and wonderful experience. It's a wild ride for everyone. Enjoy getting to know your team, have fun with your team, and enjoy what you get at the end. It's, like I say, it's fantastic. And that's why I'm back, is I believe in the power of the organization. So, over 30 nonprofit project proposals came from all kinds of areas. Saw health, animals, human services, culture, education, environment, community betterment. And it's a lot of diversity there. The proposals that came in, There were a lot of great ones. It's hard. I sat on as we reviewed those, and it's hard to make a decision from there. But there are 4 criteria. Is that the next slide? All right. Variety of causes, projects, technologies, and feasibility. The diversity that I saw in those proposals was really awesome. And I think that what happens is everyone in this room finds a cause that's important to them, and everyone gravitates to that cause. So you have an opportunity to build your skills and work for a nonprofit, help a nonprofit in a way that you might not otherwise be able to. A lot of great projects that way, and unfortunately it has to narrow down. But the 10 that are here tonight are pretty awesome. All of them are great, but these are really awesome. And I think that gets us to their pitches. In alphabetical order, there are the 10.
Ready? Yeah.
Okay, campfire. Campfire's first up. So
You'll grab a microphone from Kevin there.
and it'll be about a 3-minute pitch of what your project is and what your need is. All right. You guys can step over in front of it.
Can you guys all hear me? Okay. My name is Owen, and this is Jenna. We are from Campfire. For those of you who haven't heard about us, we are a co-ed before and after care, summer camp, clubs, family programs, organizations. So we do a whole lot of stuff. We're inclusive, so we welcome all kids K through 12 based on, or regardless of any sort of aspect of diversity. As I said, we do a lot of different things, and so our project, we have currently a self-built website from several years ago, and we found from feedback from our clients that it's really hard to navigate, especially if you don't know if it's your first time on the website, and even for those who have registered with us before, it's still pretty hard to find the information you're looking for. We also know that that's one of the I think it's in the top 3 ways that people find information about our organization, so that's kind of a problem. But because we have so many different programs, before and after school programs in several different sites, locations throughout central Iowa, summer camps that run for varied amounts of time in several different places, clubs that run in several different places, everything's kind of all over the board. So we're really looking for some help organizing our website, I guess, and making it easier and more intuitive for people who are new and for current customers to find what they are looking for, so that they don't turn away from us and go somewhere else. We've also been told that our site looks, quote, very clunky. So we're also looking for some help with the design to make sure that the site kind of flows together as a whole, and that each page itself also looks clean, looks professional, because we know that parents and other clients do kind of make a snap judgment when they look at our website, when they see us compared to some other ones that might have something that looks a little more professional. And then the other big part of that project is because we every year have to update our dates, the themes for our summer camps, the staff, times for drop-off and pickup, stuff like that. It needs to be accessible for us, the full-time staff who are not tech experts, so that we can go in and make those changes as needed. So I think those are kind of the big 3 components of our project today.
Thank you.
Next up, we have the Energy Association of Iowa Schools.
Thank you. I just have one of me, so
Perfect.
okay.
Here, I'll be your sign.
Thank you. I'm having this really weird flashback of like elementary school PE where you're being chosen for teams, you know, only it's sort of reversed because you guys are choosing us. So anyway, I'll shake that off. My name is Julie Weishar. I'm with Energy Association of Iowa Schools, and I couldn't bring any kids on a leash or in a box or some of the other things that you will be seeing tonight, but we are here. We're the champion, the energy and radon champion for rural schools. We're a 5-year-old nonprofit organization, obviously nonprofit, we're here, created from the grassroots up, and I've been a part of that the whole time. I jotted down a few things so I wouldn't forget. My project, or our project, we have a whole 1.5 of us. We're still in that growing stage, and when we started, we didn't know what data we're going to need to track. We didn't know if we were going to be around in however many years. And now suddenly, here we are with some new projects. We have all kinds of unconnected files, all kinds of things that we need help tracking for our customers, just their information, and then also tracking new opportunities. And all of these, just crazy Dropbox files that aren't talking to each other at this point. So my website's also very clunky and all of those things, but I feel like first we need to get our act in order internally so that we can support more members before we do some other things. So yes, we are grassroots. There is no other organization like us in the United States. We looked. We help schools connect the pieces between education, which is what they're there to do, and then the building that they happen to have to do it in. How do they save money on energy so they can focus that money on schools? How can they test? There is a connection between energy and radon because HVAC components can be adjusted at times and they don't have to install a separate mitigation system. So that's a new thing that our members asked us to help them with. And that's our actual fastest growing area. So we're here to teach schools to support themselves and to be able to save money that way. So I need your help to help us organize, track, and analyze, and report the data that we have in our files that literally nobody else has. I've had a researcher at the University of Iowa say, Julie, you have data, radon data that nobody else has. You have to figure out how to structure that and share that in a way that will help schools. So that's what we do. So the picture's worth 1,000 words. I already showed you the picture. We'll skip that. Just give you a few numbers. Last year alone, we have 30 school district members who are energy members. And they pay on a per student basis. Last year alone, 14 of those 30 made efficiency improvements with our guidance. That'll save them an estimated $57,478 on their energy bills each year. So if you divide that up, that's $4,000 per school, which might sound like a lot, might not, but if you think about it, that's a month of a teacher's salary. And especially for rural schools, that is a really important thing, so we're helping with that. Then some numbers for our radon in only 2 years, where there was no radon testing before, because there's not a requirement at this point other than early childhood spaces. We're helping schools be proactive and make sure they're safe. We've helped test 44 buildings, and of those, 17, or 39%, had elevations. So think about that. We all are in a school, or all have kids, or all know somebody that's working in a school. So we're helping them bring those levels down, and be safe. So I invite you to be on the team of champions, the champions for rural schools. Thanks.
Next up, we have the Iowa Architectural Foundation.
Thank you. My name is Tim Bungard. I'm an architect in Des Moines, but more importantly, I'm the board chair for the Iowa Architectural Foundation this year. Our mission is to inspire an awareness and appreciation of good design in everyone in the state of Iowa, whether you be a citizen of Iowa or a visitor to the state. Our architectural heritage here in the state is pretty amazing, considering most people consider us flyover country. The building we're in today, the Midland Building, is one of our favorites to talk about. Among the programs that we do is walking tours. We also do educational outreach for K-12, adults. Last year we did a bus trip to Mason City to have people go look at Frank Lloyd Wright architecture and other Prairie School architecture up there. But we've realized that our biggest thing we do, one of our most popular events, is our walking tours in downtown Des Moines. But we only do them once a month. We're a volunteer-based organization. We have a limited number of volunteers, and those volunteers have a limited number of hours that they can give their time to help other people appreciate architecture. But we want to reach everybody all the time. We want, especially people who aren't from Des Moines or coming into town, if they have a weekend here and they want to see some of the cool buildings we have, we want a way to reach out to them, and right now we don't have that. So what our project is this time around is we're hoping to develop a mobile platform of some sort, an app, a website, something that will allow visitors to Des Moines or residents of Des Moines to look at our archive, our information on all of these great buildings we have in our community on their phones, to pull it up without us, without a docent, and give themselves essentially a self-guided tour of downtown Des Moines. The architecture that's all around us, the building we're in right now, just as the last group presented, the buildings that we inhabit have a huge impact on all of us every single day. And that's really our mission, is to drive that home to people and help them appreciate good design and advocate for good design in Iowa.
Thank you. We have some designers in the room that are nodding furiously at the appreciating good design bit. All right.
Iowa Bicycle Coalition.
Hi, my name's Mark White. I'm Executive Director for the Iowa Bicycle Coalition. We work on a lot of policy and safety issues across the state, and in fact I've been at the legislature for about 7 weeks, and this is a really refreshing change of pace. But beyond our policy stuff, one of the things that's probably the most important thing for bicycle safety is getting more people on bicycles, and the amount of numbers that we can increase is something that we find important. However, learning the secret handshake to where to ride and places to start and go is tough. So we've created a website called iowabikeroutes.com, and it's pretty much hand-built on a WordPress platform. But it is a library of trails and bike routes and gravel roads, single track, city routes, and probably our most popular one is beer tours. And this helps us, increases bike tourism. It helps new people that move to the area figure out what that secret handshake is. Or if you've just gotten into bicycling or you want to try new routes, it's a good opportunity for that. It also has some other policy implications for us. It identifies routes that could be improved, and the DOT likes that documentation. It moves people to more enjoyable routes where they probably weren't before. And creates some common starting points, and then most of all, it creates some analytics so we know what's popular in the state and what's growing and what's changing. And it's good for us because it certainly promotes businesses along routes and tourism partners that we desperately need in our coalition to kind of tell our story and make sure that things like bicycle safety stay at the forefront, because it's important to everybody across the state. So our needs are actually pretty simple, but there's a lot of room for what can be improved. Most of all, we need a template that kind of organizes the information as it's presented to users. We've got custom fields of information all over the website, but it's really not template driven yet. And some sort of search feature to help users kind of narrow down what they're looking for, whether that's in geography, whether that's distance, whether that's wherever they're going to. And there's some other opportunities, and certainly the vision is not completely developed on this, but the future of the website's really going to be based on crowdsourcing and getting people to submit route ideas and evaluate routes that already exist. So there's plenty of ability to take good ideas and run with it with this project.
Thank you. Okay. Happy to be named.
Hi, my name is Steve Nelson. I am the Vice President of the Board of Directors for Iowa Dance Theater, and I am totally certain I am the person you pictured for the dance organization. Well, I got involved with this in much the same way that you guys are getting involved today. My wife's a dance teacher. I've been around the community for many, many years, and they aren't the most technically savvy people around. So I've been trying to find ways to make their lives easier, make things a little more consistent, that kind of thing. So the project that I'm pitching today is an application that we will use to manage the audition process. Iowa Dance Theater does 4 large productions every year, the biggest one of which is at the Civic Center. We do the Nutcracker every year at the Civic Center. And if your kids are in the Des Moines Public Schools, they've probably been to the production. So, because we get over 4,000 students who come to our student performance or school performances every year. So what we want to be able to do is manage those auditions in a much more fair and logical manner. We want to be able to have the people register ahead of time, because for Nutcracker especially, we have over 250 to 300 kids audition in a 2-day period. It's a lot of kids, a lot of work. So we want to be able to streamline the process for them so they have a better experience with us, and also the poor people who have to do the casting have a better experience as well. So we want them to be able to register ahead of time, print off all the documentation, come in, go through, get signed up very quickly, get in, get their audition, afterwards be notified of placement and accept the placement and have other communication options as well. So that's kind of our goal. I'm a little different. I'm actually a participant as well as a nonprofit. I actually work for one of our sponsors. So I'm looking forward to working with a good team. Thank you.
Next up is the Iowa Wildlife Center.
Hi folks, I'm Marlene Ersman, the Executive Director and Founder of the Iowa Wildlife Center, located in Ames and Boone and all over central Iowa and beyond. We work everywhere. Our mission is to provide professional wildlife rehabilitation services to native wild animals, offer conservation education programs to the public, and offer wildlife assistance skills training. So teaching people how to care for animals and how to rescue them and how to help us help them. So we offer all of these programs reaching thousands of people every year. We are not growing very quickly yet with our wildlife because we don't have the capacity to take care of them. We have 75 acres we own near the Ledges State Park that we're building our facility on. So eventually we're going to get there. We just trained 18 new volunteers this last weekend, so our capacity for that is growing as well. But we need lots of help. We take in all kinds of species, and we have had, just in the last couple of years, it's been about 170 animals and 30 species, and that's mammals, birds, reptiles. And to go with that, we have all these intake forms. We work with wildlife veterinarians. Kevin Kavlin here is my volunteer everything. He's my IT interpreter, so whatever you say to me, he's going to repeat back in terms I'll understand, so know that right now. But, so whenever an animal comes in, we have to fill out a pre-admittance exposure form with the people who brought them in. We have bird intake forms that offer initial exam information as far as their ears, their feathers, their respiration. We have mammal intake forms to deal with all the mammals that we get. I just got a call from the Ames Animal Shelter tonight sending me a picture that looks like maybe a mink. We have a least weasel that they brought us a few weeks ago. So we get in lots of different things, and they need lots of different information. They're all floating that way. You must be the ones. And reptile intake forms, the same thing. So all of these different groups of species require all of that different information. And at the end of the year, it culminates in needing to fill out 4 different reports, 2 state reports and 2 federal reports. The DNR report is for both our education animals that are protected by the state and our rehabilitation animals that are also protected by the state. And then the federal government also wants us to report back with lots more information, as you might expect, about the birds that we get in that are protected by the U.S. Fish and Wildlife Service, and what their disposition is, why they came in, and all of that stuff. And they want to know about our education birds that can't be released that we put in our education programs. So all of that stuff, I've just driven crazy with. I need a simple way to just coalesce all that information and spit back out at the end of the year the information that we need. So we need a good database that is simple for somebody like me to deal with and simple to maintain over time. So that's what we really need, and so I'm hoping that we'll have some help getting it. Did I cover it?
That's good.
Okay.
That's great.
Hi, I'm Abby Bogarts. I'm our PR marketing specialist at On With Life. And for those of you that haven't heard of On With Life, we are a brain injury rehabilitation center in Ankeny. And we serve individuals that 2 or 3 weeks ago were just like you and me. They were moms, dads, husbands, wives, employees, and because of a traumatic brain injury are needing our services for rehabilitation. We serve people like Julie, who was a 33-year-old teacher who had a stroke 10 days after the birth of her 3rd daughter. And so she came to On With Life for intensive inpatient rehab to learn things like how to hold her baby and feed her, how to braid her daughter's hair, and how to go back to work teaching a room of kindergartners, which takes a very special person. So we know that the brain controls everything. It controls Julie's ability to plan out her day in her planner, and it takes different things like that. So what we would like to do is we would like to have a virtual brain built for our website, so that individuals can go to our website and see the different parts of the brain and to be able to pull them out and look at what the brain looks like and what that does and the deficits you might see if that part of the brain is injured. And then later we'll add videos of what On With Life is doing to help rehab that if that part of the brain is injured. So at the end of the project, what we would love is to have a spot on our website that people can go to learn about the brain, to see it, to learn why that part might be damaged, how it was damaged, and how we can help rehab it.
Refugee Alliance of Central Iowa.
Hi, I'm Brianne Sanchez. I am one of the co-chairs of this collaborative, just a volunteer kind of as part of my job. First of all, thank you all for being here. You're awesome. Are there anybody, any refugees here? Anybody from a family of refugees? Awesome. Anybody have a neighbor who's a refugee or someone at their church? So more hands are going up. Anybody heard of refugees and their impact on our community? Great. So what we want to do is really, our project is to help refugees feel welcome, connect them into resources. Iowa has a wonderful history of being a welcoming place for refugees, and seeing some heads nod. I'm an Iowan by choice from Chicago. There's no trauma or war experience in my life, but I know part of the resettlement process is really you get 90 days through one of our 2 resettlement agencies, the USCRI or Catholic Charities, and then it's pretty much, welcome, you're in Des Moines, figure it out. I've been here 10 years and I still always take the wrong ramp at Valley West to get back downtown. So I know there's something wrong with me here, but just like connecting in with the community, making sure you're oriented to everything, it's really challenging. So our project is really trying to help thousands of refugees who are living to thrive in our community, and really to just showcase that we're welcoming, that our institutions are welcoming, really help dispel some of the myths about refugees and resettlement. And Ani will tell you a little bit more about the Refugee Alliance of Central Iowa and kind of how this group came together.
I'm Ani. I'm the coordinator for Refugee Alliance of Central Iowa. It's a partnership position that I work for, and our partners encompass around the church groups, the ethnic communities, the education groups, the groups like the Des Moines School District, and public school education, higher learning institutions like Iowa State, Des Moines University, and other institutions, and all our partners are like that. And then we also have LSI, like Lutheran Services of Iowa, as one of our coordinating partner, and we have the United Way as also one of our coordinating partners. So all these profit and non-profit organizations, religious groups, and public and private organizations have come together to provide aftercare, like after the initial 30 days period of all these refugees who have come to this country, and all the refugees that have come to Iowa, how we're going to help them out to build their lives on, and to for example, most importantly, how they can move on, because US ensures that everybody goes through the initial, in 30 days they should be all settled, find a job, and just move into the society, as Brian was saying. But that sometimes is not possible. We need to support them beyond that initial 30 days period. And all these partners have come together to form the alliance, which actually helps and empowers the refugees beyond that initial 30 days period. and that's what we are trying. And if you are willing to help us out today, actually you're going to help 30,000 plus refugees in this community. Thank you.
The Rooftop Foundation.
Hi, my name is Barry Tofflin with Rooftop Foundation. We're a nonprofit organization that's dedicated to giving children in Central Iowa a chance to experience Christmas that they wouldn't otherwise be able to do. Basically, the gist of our program is each year we pick an elementary school in Des Moines area. We focus on ones that have a high percentage of students that get free lunch. Oftentimes that's 100% of the school. What we do is we take them out for breakfast. They get a shirt, a stocking hat. Then they get matched up with a guide volunteer with a gift card and go on a shopping trip. At the shopping trip, it's not to buy gifts for themselves, it's to buy gifts for their family members. A lot of times these kids never have the opportunity to buy gifts for their parents or their siblings, and it's quite remarkable to see how that improves the outlook a young kid has. After shopping, we take the students, the volunteers, back to the school to wrap the gifts, and then they do get a gift bag from Santa as well. We also do help out some local shelters, the Youth Emergency Shelter and Services, and also Hawthorne Hill. A lot of the volunteers find those even more rewarding. It's hard to imagine being homeless at Christmas, but that is a fact of life for some people in our community. For now, I'd like to turn over to the founder, Ken Deaver. He can talk a little bit about why he founded it, and then I'll just wrap up real brief with the kind of project we're talking about.
Hello everybody, Ken Deaver, founder of the Rooftop Foundation. It was established in 2005, but the wife and I, my wife over there, Esther Deaver, have been giving to kids for almost 30 years now. And the reason I started this program was I was born on the river bottoms and didn't have nothing, couldn't give nothing, and always felt it was important kids get help and get something. So when I made something of myself, I decided to start giving to kids and let them give to others to teach them a little self-esteem. And one of our proudest achievements is the invention of the Rooftop Monopoly game. It's not Monopoly, it's not where you win everything and you're the winner, it's where you get everything given to you, and as you proceed through the game, you give out, and as you give out, the winner that gives the most is the eventual winner, and it's all about teaching kids it's better to give than receive. So that's why I started the Rooftop Foundation. Thank you.
He's also AKA Santa, if you couldn't tell. Mrs. Claus, take a bow. There you go.
So basically, Santa needs a new website.
Desperately.
We have one that was done a while ago. The admin credentials have since been lost. We can't get in contact with the person that has them. It's an old typepad site. It's out of date, so it's kind of a greenfield project, but we do have content. We do have pictures, stuff we can use, and we can use that as a base starting point. And one feature that we kind of like to incorporate is an entry form. Our main fundraiser each year is a charity golf tournament, and you know, that's always been done manually, getting the forms filled out, handed in personally or through the mail. It would be really nice if we could collect that information, make it easier for the organizers to have it all tabulated and ready to go on sign-up day. So that's one feature we'd like to get on top of just improving the aesthetic of our website. So please choose us.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Well, this is a quick thing. My pocket's blown up a little bit. Refugee Alliance, could you come back up real briefly and say what your project is, what you're looking for?
Oh.
Sorry.
Sure. It's a website really to help map those services that are available to refugees, to map the services of our partner organizations, also to provide basic information about the resettlement process and refugees in Iowa. So the audience would be both refugees themselves, service providers, you know, those teachers who have families and they want to connect them to resources but aren't really sure. Their forte might be education, but they need to connect them to health resources, that kind of a thing. And then also just general public we hosted a forum about interfaith refugee experiences, prayer service, kind of a couple weeks ago. So getting the news out about those kinds of events as well.
That's good. Yeah, I mean, basically, even for example, when we had a refugee day at the Hill, we had questions from people like legislators asking, are refugees legal? So kind of basically educating anybody who wants to know about refugees, but at the same time, if service providers wants to know what kind of services are available and what more is needed, we have a service mapping initiative that we are doing around the refugee community, having those kind of resources, toolkits for all those kind of information basically.
Perfect. Thank you. Didn't mean to call you out, so thank you.
And the 10th and final, the Young Women's Resource Center.
Hello, first of all, thank you so much. We really appreciate y'all being here. And I can say that we actually have experience with y'all because we were a project, I believe it was 2 years ago. I don't know, is there anybody here that helped us out 2 years ago with some work on our website to create a registration form that linked? Well, not all new people. It's worked really well. We're actually still using it today, and we love the adventure so much that we're here again. My name's Kristen Griffith. I'm the Executive Director at the Young Women's Resource Center. We are an agency that serves young women between the ages of 10 to 21 in the Des Moines area. We serve around 1,500 young girls and women each and every year. We focus on self-esteem, body image, reproductive health, and healthy relationships. Those are the 4 pillars of which our programming is built. And then we have some additional services and special programming for young moms, which are anywhere between the ages of 13 to 21. And the reason we're here is because we had something really interesting happen a little while back. We were founded almost 40 years ago by a woman named Louise Noun, who's kind of a kick-ass feminist in the community, and really did a lot of work. She created the Young Women's Resource Center, she created Chrysalis, she donated a lot of art to the Des Moines Art Center, so she is somebody that really changed the community that we live in today. And we have just received her personal book collection at the Young Women's Resource Center. And what we've done is in our lobby, we've created a library of her personal book collection, which is some really amazing pieces of literature that aren't really available other places. And we are getting ready to have a ribbon cutting for the library tomorrow evening. So this project would actually involve a small field trip to the Young Women's Resource Center if you want to come out and see that. But what we want to do is we want to create an online portal, something that we can connect to the website where people can actually go online, research the books, check them out. And we want to do this because we want to make the library as accessible as possible to the public, but we also want to make sure that we're being good stewards and we're really protecting the resources that she's left us. So I think it's a great opportunity to kind of complete the circle with some history that's been given back to the Young Women's Resource Center, and it's just an absolutely amazing collection. And it is a field trip that also involves beer, because we love beer and wine. Although we won't have any Red Bull, so. Awesome, thanks.
All right, so now the fun begins. So those of you that have been here before know what I'm going to say next. Those of you that haven't, prepare. What happens next is what we fondly call speed dating. So we will have our nonprofit reps with their fantastic signs sort of position themselves at various corners of the room. They'll be holding up their signs. What you need to do is make your way around the room to each of those nonprofits, talk to them about their cause, talk to them about their project, see how you might fit in. And then at the end, after you've talked to all of them or talked to the one that really stole your heart, whatever the case may be, you'll be forming a team. You'll wait till you have a team that you deem full, and then one of our organizers will lead you downstairs to a space that is appropriately sized for your team. Now, if you haven't already picked up one of the information sheets, those are on the table at check-in. If you need one, grab one. But now, go ahead, walk around, talk to the nonprofits. If we find that organizations are thin, we will call for help. Thanks, everybody.